All right, hello. Today we're going to welcome back to a moment of your time. Today we're going to be talking a very heated debate on whether or not Assassin's Creed is better than Red Dead Redemption, like
Which
the
it is.
overall Red Dead Redemption world.
Which it is.
Basically, this is episode one of a podcast we're starting. Also, we're probably going to be doing another one with a group of friends of ours. So go and subscribe to that as well, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, we're just gonna talk about random stuff on this podcast, video games, movies. We'll probably like release like a poll on what you guys would want to see. But yeah, today's on Assassin's Creed games better than the Red Dead games. So I'm on the side of that Red Dead is in fact better than uh than Assassin's Creed. And Ollie, you're on the side of Assassin's Creed's better than Red Dead. And I'm
Well,
aware.
of course I am.
Yeah, cold. All right, okay. So we're gonna get into it. Okay. So, Ollie, do you want to explain to me? Give me a couple of reasons on why you think Red Assassin's Creed is better than Red Dead.
I will give you many. One, the story is long, expansive, has incredible characters. There's a lot of emotions that you can feel through the Assassin's Creed story, and I personally think Red Dead's more shooty, but Assassin's Creed's more stealth, and I don't really like shooty games. I like stealth. I like the fact you have secrecy. You have to take out targets to, fulfill a creed and stuff like that. I think in terms of story, it's probably better than Red Dead 2, but in terms of graphics and gameplay, excluding the new Assassin's Creed games, it's probably better.
You've got a pretty controversial sort of opinion there. I think. Okay, emotion. All right. Okay, so obviously, like we've both played. These are two very different games, right?
Mhm.
But like emotion, bro. Like seriously, like Red Dead obviously sort of takes that spot for me. I think. I mean, like think about it. Like you you obviously play as Arthur Morgan, right?
Mhm.
You like you understand is this not a very great character to begin with, and then when he realizes that he's gonna die, he then suddenly starts to do some good in the world. And I think that for me, just it's perfection. I don't understand why you would think that it was anything else. It's like for me, it's a perfect. In my opinion, so far what I've played, it's a perfect game. You know,
Yep.
like an emotion. Obviously, he obviously does die at the end. And it's
Spoilers.
a beautiful.
Spoilers.
Yeah, sorry, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. He does, in fact, die at the end. Either way you play, if you play with low honor, then you're a bit of a weirdo because
Scumbag.
essentially he dies either way. But playing it low honor, mate, I'm sorry if you do that, like just get a bit of a life, son, because you know
Wow.
this sort of person that goes around just starts just to like shooting random innocent people and like I look so cool right now. Shut up, mate. You don't. You just look
I
like you're just
believe in you.
murdering a bunch of innocent people. Like, come on, come on, get. I mean, you're nearly 50, son. Like,
You're
seriously,
nearly
like,
50.
no,
You're
imagine that. Like,
slandering our audience.
ima- imagine a 50-year-old like playing like a Red Dead. I mean, personally, I'd sit there and watch that. I tell you, I
Sit
stuck
and
my,
watch
my
that. You're
granddad on
impeachable.
a racing game one time, and he crashed multiple times. Like
Oh my god.
honestly, I've never seen a man so angry at anything. That was just on another level, bro. Um, but yeah, I think Red Dead just offers so much more. Like you've obviously got the open world aspect, you've got the online. I mean, sure, there's not as many games, but let's be honest, like quality over quantity, Ollie, mate.
But there is
Like
quality in Assassin's Creed. There's so much quality.
I'm not
There's
saying that there isn't. I'm just saying that it might. I don't know. See,
yeah.
for me, like I'm a little bit biased because I haven't really played much of Assassin's Creed. I played
Oh
a little bit.
really?
I played a little bit of my friend's house. All right, I played a little bit of my friend's
Five
house, and it was
minutes of
like you.
Unity's a little bit, yeah.
Actually, I think it's probably a bit more than Unity. I sort of like logged in 5 seconds on potentially the best Assassin's Creed game, Valhalla. Um,
Valhalla. Okay, that's a controversial opinion. Valhalla and Odyssey and Unity are probably the worst in the series so far.
but that's
Mirage is set to come out October this year, and I have high hopes for it because it looks good, as we've seen.
did you see gameplay for it? Because they released some gameplay for it.
Yeah, I did, and I think it looks really good. And the story as well, it
Yeah,
looks kind of compelling. I think I might enjoy that.
yeah. I'd pick it up. I'm just not. rich enough to have a PS5.
Lol.
So I think I think for me as a whole, like thing is like you said that 3 of the Assassin's Creed games are bad. Like there's no Red Dead game that's bad.
Well, that's obviously a matter of
There's-
opinion, though, isn't it? You can't.
uh,
It's you. You're
no,
biased.
no, three Assassin's Creed games. So there's 3 Assassin's Creed games that are bad. There's 3 Red Dead games. I've played Red Dead Revolver, which is like came out in 2004, and for its time, bro, that is a solid game. It's a solid shooter. It's got a solid world. It sets up something really really awesome, which is then happened with Red Dead Redemption, which I played the open world of that, and that game it's sick, bro. There's nothing else to say. They're sick. They're awesome. And obviously, Red Dead Redemption 2 is becoming one of my favorite games of all time. So I feel like like 3 out of what? How many Assassin's Creed games there?
I don't even
You
know
know
anymore.
exactly. It's like that. Be honest, like it's the same thing every time. Be honest.
Same
Be honest with
thing.
me.
Did you just say
No,
that?
be honest with me here, Ollie. It is the same thing, right?
No, completely
It's
different stories, completely different characters, plot twists, everything. All the games
but
are
the, but
interlinked
the,
under one symbol, the assassin's symbol. That's the only like common thing throughout the entire thing. Assassins vs Templars. That's it.
Yeah, well, I think no, but think about it, right? Like but it's like the Call of Duty. They release one every year. Like Modern
That
Warfare Remastered is
yeah.
potentially one of the great. Like that's one of my favorite games, right? But that doesn't mean that the rest of them are good, right? And it also doesn't mean that like they've just milked it. They've milked it. That's what they've done. They've milked a franchise. It's like the Star Wars movies. They could have stopped with the third one, Return of the Jedi.
Mhm.
They just decided to keep making more. And is that really necessary? Is it really necessary to make more of something? If something's on a roll, maybe you should just quit while you're ahead.
No, they want more money.
Yeah, but like, let's be honest. Like, does anyone actually want to see another Assassin's Creed game?
Yes, millions of people. I've seen so many hyped people for Mirage.
Yeah, I'm not saying that Mirage isn't going to get much hype. I'm just saying that the
And then
people
you just,
actually.
and then you just said, should people be excited for the next one? Yes, they should.
All right. Well, okay. I'll tell you what. If Assassin's Creed Valhalla goes on because there's been like rumors that it might go on PS Plus, I'll play it and I'll see how I feel. I'll
Mhm.
I'll see whether or not like I mean I know it's like the worst one, but at least it's Assassin's Creed game.
No, Odyssey
Like
is the worst one. Valhalla's, I guess, alright, but it's too long, and
is that the only problem with it? It's too long.
well, there's different stuff about it, but the main is it's a bit long. It's like 60 hours worth of story, where like others are just like a couple.
Ah, well, there you go. No, but okay. So I'm gonna go into why I personally think Red Dead is the best game. You can disagree with me with all you want, but in fact, actually, I'm interested to see what people actually think about this. Okay, for those of you that are out there that are listening to this, stick in the comments whether or not you actually think Red Dead is better than Assassin's Creed or vice versa. I'm actually really curious to see whether or not there's like a large people, or is it just the minority? All right, why I think Red Dead for me is better than Assassin's Creed. Well, okay. First of all, graphics are like a massive, massive up to Assassin's Creed,
You're saying
right?
that right, but the time Red Dead 2 came out, what was it, 2018?
Yeah,
I think PS5s hadn't come out yet, which means graphics were limited. I think Odyssey had just come out, which it's a beautiful game, but the story is it's not the greatest. Plus, it's a copy paste of Origins, which is arguably much better. But graphics for Red Dead 2, yes, they are incredible. I've seen them. But also for Assassin's Creed, the newer ones, they look beautiful. I mean, Origins, my favourite of the new 3 at the moment, is set in ancient Egypt, and my god, is the landscape incredible. I mean, you've got... Oh, come on. If you haven't seen it yet, you really should. I definitely think you should, like, at least look at some videos on it.
yeah. I think the I think, but like gameplay, a lot of people had a lot of problem with the gameplay. They're like, oh, it's a little bit too. I've got massive problems with it. to be fair, the gameplay in this game is actually sick. Like you can, I like how you have the option to be a really awful person. You can do some pretty cruel things in this game, or you can play it really nice. Is like what I do, which I wouldn't even hurt a horse, right? I'm that guy. I'm just a peaceful man that will only fight whenever I, yeah. If I get attacked, right, I'm not gonna sit there and go, oh, I'll take it. I'm obviously gonna fire back, right? So I think it's a massive step up, and the story of Red Dead Redemption 2 is a beautiful one. We've obviously got Arthur Morgan as like this brilliant, absolutely phenomenal protagonist. Honestly, 10 out of 10. He's up there with like Rick Grimes.
Oh, I wonder why.
Shush. Okay. Nah. Shush. He's the GOAT. In my opinion, he is one of the best protagonists.
Isn't he literally
Oh,
though?
he may potentially be literally me. We've got loads of brilliant protagonists. You've got like obviously Walter White, but he is up there with a 10 out of 10 protagonist. He is truly a brilliant character, and John Marston as well.
Sorry to interrupt.
Brilliant.
We're talking in media, not in games. In games, I think protagonists, Arthur Morgan, stuff like that, they are good. But I personally think the protagonists, Assassin's Creed, are way better. Honest to God. You've got Ezio Auditore, Edward Kenway, Bayek of Siwa. You've got Cassandra Damos, or whatever his name was. Selected. You've got Ivor. You've got who else? I'm trying to think. You've got Arno. Really good story for Unity, by the way. You've got Arno. You've got who else? I'm thinking. There's the one for Liberty. You've got her. They are all different, and they all have personalities, and they all go through stuff, and they all lose people, and they all become an assassin, and they channel their pain into the assassins and use it to protect the city. What if Arthur Morgan? He's just like, I don't know, some cowboy. That's it.
Oh my days! All right, Ollie, I'm gonna stop you right there, son. I'm gonna stop you right there. He's just a cowboy. Okay. Arthur Morgan starts out this horrible character. He robs people, he kills mercilessly, he has no remorse for other people. The only people that he cares about is the group, right? That's the only people that he cares about. And then he figures out, and after doing something like awful, like absolutely horrendous, like beating a man to death, right? He then obviously gets tuberculosis, right? And then that then leads him to like becoming a good man, and he goes and does some good things. Realizes that his group is just not a good one. Realizes that the man that he looked up to, Dutch, Valentine, he realizes that he is not a good man, and that stuff that he is doing, and obviously Micah and him have a lot of conflict. He then like makes a friendship bond with John Marston, and he goes on this truly incredible journey that I think hasn't been captured in any other way. Like there's no other piece of media or any other video game that has captured quite this character, right?
I disagree with that, Samuel. Okay.
You disagree? Okay.
Yeah,
go on then.
I really hate to interrupt you, right? Because you were in the middle of an in-depth explanation, but you were saying no other game has captured that sort of character. I will tell you one that has. Okay. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. One of the best in the series, controversial, I know. But Black Flag has you as Edward Kenway, a selfish, I was a bigger to refer to 1750s, pirate who steals and does the exact same thing. Kills merciless, whatever he does. But he does one error and he changes his ways, fighting for good instead of fighting. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's kind of copy paste.
Yeah.
Plus, they did it before Arthur Morgan, which it makes Arthur Morgan unoriginal because, of course, Edward isn't either. But like,
ooh, unoriginal. Ooh,
if you think of
that
it,
is
a man who was become selfish and then good after doing one thing. How many times have you seen that in media and gaming? Loads.
okay. No, but has any of them actually captured it like this? Like, I mean, let's be honest, right? Like, you've got some like selfish, stuck-up dude that thinks, "Oh yes, I'm a pirate. I'm only going to rob loads of people." Or actually, I've done this really bad thing. Let me just go and let me see the error of my ways. And let me become an assassin. Be honest with me, Ollie. Does that not sound a little bit? Oh, all right, mate. All right, son. You get off your knees now. Stop begging, bro.
Stop begging. You described Arthur Morgan if he's in Assassin's Creed. You know, you said Arthur Morgan robs people, kills mercilessly, and does one bad thing and he changes his ways. Edward does the exact same.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking. No, no, he doesn't just do a bad thing. He does a bad thing, and then that like has a consequence. What's the consequence for Assassin's Creed?
Edward Kenway
They give
sells
it
them up to the Templars, right? And that
right.
is the assassins being on the run for the Templars instead of being the opposite way around. Edward now
Hmm.
knows this from his friend James Kidd, who is an assassin, is revealed to be Mayor of Spoilers. And he decides, okay, I'll help you, but I won't become an assassin until much later. So he helps the assassins, he takes down Templars, and in the colonial times, you know, he does the exact same thing as Arthur. He just changes. It's not really... They did it before Arthur.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. No, but okay, let's be honest, right? Like, you know, I think. Uh, okay. We'll move away from the characters. Okay, we'll move away from the main character. Let's look at side characters. How many good side characters are there in Assassin's Creed?
Glad you asked. Okay, I'm going to list as many side characters as I can remember. 2, Leonardo da Vinci. 4, Adewale.
Yeah,
Mary Read.
okay, I'm gonna stop. Hang on. Leonardo da Vinci, bro. They literally ripped that off from like a real person. They're like, oh, we can't think of any other NPCs to add into the game. I know. We'll add Leonardo da Vinci, the guy that paints the paintings. I think he paints paintings.
Assassin's Creed
Doesn't he paint?
is based on history. Historical events told in a fictional way of the Assassins and Templars. That's why Da Vinci's in Assassin's Creed 2.
Right. Well. Okay. All right. Good point. But continue.
So you've got Da Vinci, Adewale, Mary Read, Ben Hornigold, Ed Thatch. That's, you know, 2 and 4. Didn't really play 3. Let's see, what else? I can't remember. But those are some examples that I think are probably the best side characters in the games. They all have individual personalities. They're all really good. They push the story forward in a way that, you know, it's not too fast-paced. It's your pace. And I think they all contribute to the main character's success.
Right. Okay. All right. Well. Okay. So that's your reason for not okay. So that's your reason about side characters. Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you like my overview of the side characters in Red Dead Redemption 2. So you've got Dutch like Vanderlyn, or however, I don't know how you spell his name. It's Valentine or Vanderlyn. I can't remember. I think it's Vanderlyn. Excuse me if I'm wrong there. But okay, so you've got him. Who's this like leader that everyone looks up to? You know, oh, he's brilliant. Oh, he's the best. And then you start to realise that the character isn't really that great, and that he's just a little bit of just like a control sort of person, and he listens to the wrong people. And you've got Micah Bell, who is potentially the worst, the most horrible character ever written in fiction. And don't even try and don't even try and like back me out on that one. I know you might say Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter, but Micah Bell is so much worse, right? He's this horrible character that you learn to hate. He's a perfect villain, right? And so, you know, Arthur has to learn to try and like just get on with him during the camp. You know, things will turn out all right. You know, hopefully Dutch will see, but he doesn't. You know, you've also got characters such as like Sadie Adler, who is my wife. Basically, she's absolutely gorgeous. She's really awesome as well. She's really tough. She's really like, oh yeah, okay. I've lost my husband. I'll figure this all out. You know. But you know, and then you've also got so many more. You've got like Javier. You've got John Marston, who then becomes his own protagonist. They sort of did like a bit of like a Walking Dead that made Daryl Dixon a sort of side character and the main character. You know. It's brilliant. All of the characters are brilliant. All of them have their personalities. It's perfect. So for potentially side characters, I think Red Dead, in my opinion, takes the win there.
Well, you've not played Assassin's Creed, have you? So you don't really get to
I've
experience
I've played
stuff like
a
that.
bit of it.
Yeah, a bit of it. Same with me. I've only played a bit of Red Dead, so I can't really talk at this. But you haven't seen Da Vinci in 2. You haven't seen any of the Black Flag ones. You haven't seen like Origins with Aya. Oh my wife. You,
Real.
I know, but they. I personally think, in terms of characters and story, Assassin's Creed's just better because it just is.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. See. Okay. So if I'm being honest, the whole sort of the overall sort of okay. Okay. We've got to reach a verdict at some point. This has already probably gone over
10
like
minutes.
10 minutes
Yeah,
and
we'll
15
probably
minutes.
have something else.
All right. Overall verdict. Personal. I mean, I will probably get around to playing some of the Assassin's Creed games.
Same with Red Dead 2 for me.
Yeah.
Or Red Dead as a
So
whole.
to be fair, like we're not saying either of the games are bad. We're just saying that we have our like preferable sort of, you know,
You should play
sort
Assassin's
of.
Creed now!
Yeah, I will most definitely get around to playing Assassin's Creed. Uh, like I'll get around to playing them. They do sound like really sick games. But
Yeah.
for me, I would just go Red Dead a little bit more.
Mhm.
Just that's just my opinion.
If you want,
All right.
the stuff like that you've listed for Red Dead's your thing. But if you want a long, in-depth story with great characters, great combat, new mechanics, nearly every single game, I'd say Assassin's Creed is your best franchise to go for. Because Red Dead's only 3 games, Assassin's Creed's well over the 10 mark now. If you like long, expansive stories, go ahead, buy Assassin's Creed. If you want Red Dead's sort of story, because I haven't really played it, go ahead, buy Red Dead 2. I can't really, dictate what you play, or Red Dead as a whole, you know? Or you can just play both, really, and see whether both
Yeah,
for it.
that's probably what I'll get around to doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay, Ollie, I'm gonna. Okay, I also just want to say for you said long, in depth, um, like like
stories.
story. It's over 100 hours, right?
What, for Assassin's Creed or Red Dead?
Red Dead. It's a massive game. It takes.
Oh yeah. You have not seen Assassin's Creed story.
Okay, how long does it take? My
Well over
attention
100
span is
hours. Well over 100 hours.
well over 100 hours. Ain't no way.
Across all the games.
Hey,
And the books.
across what?
Yep. There's books.
Okay, well, fair enough. I think that probably takes the
Yep.
the win on that one. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, okay. Obviously, this is we're getting to the end of the video. Comment what your favorite, like which you think's better. This is probably our podcast will probably get a bit better over time. This is just a first episode. I guess you could call it a pilot. So yeah, try and be nice.
Yeah. Don't be a dick.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. We'll probably. I think we've got a couple games that we've got to go and get playing now, Ollie.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah. So we'll upload whenever we can. We are busy men, so
We've just got summer break as well, so we'll be a little less busy, so we might see you until the summer holiday.
yeah. I'm thinking maybe potentially do one tomorrow, maybe at some point.
Maybe. Because I know I've got camping and a caravan in a few weeks, so I won't be able to do it then. But I definitely will be able to do some more during the holidays, so I'm down for that.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So like and subscribe, I guess. I hope you enjoyed.
Smash that like button and subscribe and hit
Yeah.
the bell right now.
Yeah. For good luck, for good measure.
Yeah.
And if you and let us know what sort of stuff that you want us to talk about. Whether we want to do more video game comparisons. I'm thinking maybe Skyrim or Half-Life. They seem sort of interlinked. I don't know whether anyone got. I don't know if anyone got the Blade Runner reference there, but yeah, we'll try and figure something out.
What's
Excuse
it
the
like
voice crack.
Half-Life and Skyrim interlinked?
Interlinked. Yeah. Okay. Sounds like
Yeah, sounds like a good plan. I will
Sounds
see
like
you
an
all
alright.
in my next shitpost or podcast. Whenever.
Yeah.
See you all.
sounds good. Also, subscribe to my channel as well. I need more like and subscribes on that one because
Yeah.
it's not
I will
going
link
anywhere.
his channel in the description, by the way, so you don't have to, say anything. Yeah, hopefully
Cheers.
you will subscribe to him and me, because it's going on my channel, by the way. Anyways,
Yeah, and the other podcast that we're doing, you go and like and subscribe to that. We'll probably do like a. There's more of us there, so it'll probably be a lot more talky. Yeah. So yeah, cool. Thanks everyone.
thank you all
See
for
you later.
watching. I will see you all later.